Welcome back to ABC English Story, where we discover the power of human connection through simple, meaningful moments. Today, I want to share a story that reminds us how unexpected delays can sometimes lead to the most beautiful discoveries. It was a cold Tuesday morning in Chicago. Sarah Martinez hurried through Union Station, her breath visible in the frigid air. She clutched her coffee cup tightly, checking her phone for the third time in 2 minutes. The 7:15 train to Milwaukee was delayed. Again. This wasn't just any ordinary delay. This was the morning of her job interview, the one she'd been preparing for months. Sarah had been unemployed for 8 months. After losing her position at a marketing firm, she'd sent out hundreds of applications, attended countless interviews, and faced rejection after rejection. This interview felt different, though. It was her dream job at a nonprofit organization that helped immigrant families, work that truly mattered to her. Being late wasn't an option. As she paced near the departure board, anxiety began to build in her chest. The delay stretched from 15 minutes to 30, then to an hour. Other passengers showed their frustration. Some made angry phone calls, others complained loudly to station workers. But Sarah just sat on a cold metal bench, trying to stay calm while her heart raced. That's when she noticed him. An elderly man sat alone across from her, wearing a worn winter coat and holding a small, battered suitcase. His hands shook slightly as he repeatedly checked an old pocket watch. Unlike everyone else, he wasn't complaining or looking at his phone. He simply sat quietly. But Sarah could see worry in his weathered face. Something about his silent distress touched her heart. Despite her own anxiety, she felt drawn to help. Sarah approached him gently and asked if he was okay. The man looked up with tired but kind eyes. His name was Frank, and he was traveling to see his daughter in Milwaukee. She had just given birth to her first child, his first grandchild, and he hadn't seen her in over 2 years. Frank explained that he'd saved money for months to make this trip. He didn't have much, but becoming a grandfather meant everything to him. The delay worried him because his daughter expected him to arrive on time. He didn't have a cell phone to call her, and he seemed lost in the modern world of electronic announcements and digital displays. Without hesitation, Sarah offered to help. She called Frank's daughter using her own phone, explaining the situation and assuring her that her father was safe. The relief in the young woman's voice was immediate and heartfelt. She thanked Sarah repeatedly and asked her to tell her father how excited everyone was to meet him. As they waited together, Sarah and Frank began to talk. She learned that he was a retired carpenter who had built his own house with his bare hands. He'd raised 3 children alone after his wife passed away 20 years earlier. Frank had worked 2 jobs to put his kids through college, never complaining about the sacrifice. His quiet strength and gentle wisdom impressed Sarah deeply. Frank, in turn, listened to Sarah's story about her job search and her dreams of helping others. He told her about the importance of patience and perseverance. Sometimes, he said with a knowing smile, the best things in life are worth waiting for. Delays don't always mean disappointment. They might just mean the timing wasn't right yet. When the train finally arrived, 2 hours late, something beautiful had happened. Sarah no longer felt anxious about her interview. Instead, she felt calm and confident. Frank's peaceful presence and wise words had reminded her that her worth wasn't determined by one job interview. She had value as a person, regardless of the outcome. During the train ride, Frank shared stories about his woodworking projects and his children's accomplishments. Sarah showed him pictures on her phone and explained how different apps worked. They laughed together, and other passengers began to smile, affected by their positive energy despite the morning's frustration. When they reached Milwaukee, Frank's daughter was waiting at the station with tears of joy in her eyes. She hugged her father tightly, then turned to Sarah and thanked her again for her kindness. Sarah felt a warmth in her heart that she hadn't experienced in months. Sarah arrived at her interview 3 hours late, but she called ahead to explain the situation. The interviewer was impressed by her calm demeanor and her story about helping a fellow passenger. During the interview, she spoke with confidence and authenticity that surprised even herself. She got the job. But the real gift wasn't the job offer. It was the friendship that developed between Sarah and Frank. They stayed in touch, and Sarah became like a second daughter to him. She visited him regularly, and he taught her woodworking skills in his garage workshop. Frank attended Sarah's wedding 2 years later, and Sarah was there when Frank celebrated his 80th birthday. The train delay that seemed like a disaster became the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Sarah learned that sometimes our worst moments can lead to our best discoveries. Frank reminded her that human connection matters more than schedules, and that small acts of kindness can change lives in ways we never expect. This story teaches us something profound about life's unexpected moments. When we're stressed or worried, it's easy to focus only on our own problems. But when we open our hearts to others, we often find that helping someone else helps us too. Sarah's decision to reach out to Frank didn't just comfort him, it gave her exactly what she needed in that moment. The delay forced them to slow down and connect as human beings. In our fast-paced world, we rarely take time to truly listen to strangers or share our stories. But Frank and Sarah discovered that genuine human connection can happen anywhere, even in the middle of a frustrating train delay. Sometimes the most meaningful encounters happen when we least expect them. A delayed train, a chance meeting, a small act of kindness, these simple moments can change our entire perspective on life. Sarah's story reminds us that every person we meet has a story worth hearing, and every moment of difficulty contains the possibility for growth and connection. What can you learn from Sarah and Frank's story? Maybe it's that patience and kindness are always worth practicing, even when we're stressed. Maybe it's that reaching out to others in need can heal our own hearts. Or possibly it's that delays and disappointments aren't setbacks. Sometimes they're exactly what we need to find something better. The next time you face an unexpected delay or challenge, remember Sarah and Frank. Look around you. Is there someone who might need a kind word or a helping hand? You never know, your small act of kindness might not only brighten someone else's day, but it might also change your own life in ways you never imagined. If this story inspired you, give us a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to ABC English Story for more meaningful content like this one. Remember, every delay has the potential to become a beautiful beginning. Until next time, keep your heart open to the unexpected gifts that life offers us every day.